The principal will welcome us and wait till the music is established.
Hello, and welcome to our show in American history. I'm Uncle Sam. You might be asking yourself, is he really an uncle? The answer is yes, I'm America's uncle. In the next hour, we'll go through the story of how America became America, starting way back, all the way up to the signing of the Declaration of Independence from this man, King George III. What are you doing? No. King Kong did not fight King George. I have told you this.
He's not even a real king, I bet.
Bad King Kong. Great. Now he's sad. Take him backstage and give him a lollipop. A few more reminders. Brush your teeth every day and vote when you're old enough. It's the American way. Come on out, everyone. Let's get started. Maestro.
What key are we in?
The Francis Scott key.
Oh.
Cheerio and toodaloo.
What's that mean?
It means goodbye.
That is different. America, red, white, and blue used to be reigned by the Spanish too. The French explored around the land, and the Russians walked the West Coast sand. It's coming for 5.4. We got a show to do for you. The Revolutionary Review. Our own American show about colonial history. Thousands of years ago, people came to the Americas and established complex societies. 500 years ago, people came from Europe on boats to North America.
Excuse me. Hey, you. Come here. I'm looking for spice and gold. Where can I find them?
And you are
A European explorer. I just found a new route to the Indies.
the Indies?
Yeah, you know, China, Japan, India, and here I am.
You're not in the Indies. The Indies are that way about another 8,000 miles.
No, these are the Indies, all right. And that makes you an Indian.
No, I'm not an Indian.
Oh, yes, you are. You're an Indian, I can tell. I claim these lands for the crown and glory of Spain. My God, good day. Long live the King and Queen of Spain!
Christopher Columbus. Why do I have a bad feeling about this?
In 1492, Spain sent Christopher Columbus to Asia by going west instead of east. He never made it to Asia. Instead, he crossed the Atlantic Ocean and ran right into the American continents. To his dying day, he believed he had reached the Indies in Asia. And And now Christopher Columbus and friends will sing Sailing to the Indies. We're sailing to the Indies to get us a fancy spice. We're sailing to the Indies, that golden paradise. When we loaded up our ship with gold and silver and spice, we'll take it back to Europe and they'll pay us a handsome price.
I am a very simple man. I only play one game. Convert the locals, make some dough, and find immortal fame. I get to be the governor of all the lands I see. The natives will applaud for me and get down on one knee. Or could it be my actions will disrupt 3 continents, a lasting legacy of European dominance? That's overstating it, I think.
Not a bit.
Har, 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 he loves the pirate life. I'm sailing to the Indies to get me some fancy spice. I'm sailing to the Indies, that golden paradise. When we loaded up our ships with gold and silver and spice, we'll take it back to Europe and they'll pay me a handsome price. I'm sailing to the Indies for God, for glory and
Nice.
And that's how we became known as Indians.
And off you go.
We are not. We are the Taino, Arawak, Apache, Multnomas, Kalama, and 1,000 others. Even many of these names were invented by white people. If you want to know who we are, ask us.
After Christopher Columbus came in 1492, more and more European explorers arrived.
You're up here, still, right?
Bats.
You're
Yeah, you're still out there for the hat trick.
I claim this land for Spain, for France, for England.
And I claim that you have no claim. We've lived here forever.
And then,
And let's send you off the opposite direction. Okay? So circle around in front of Adam and you're out. Okay?
and then the settlers started coming. That means people from Europe came on boats across the Atlantic Ocean to live in North America. In 1607, Jamestown was founded in the south, and in 1620, the Pilgrims arrived in Plymouth to the north. And now to give us a better understanding of what line.
And now to help us understand what life was like.
And now to help us understand what life was like in the settlers' earliest and hardest days, it's time to play Settlers Feud, a fast-paced, exciting quiz show where 2 early settler teams compete for fabulous prizes.
Welcome to our show. I'm your host, Penobscot Pumphrey, and this is my lovely assistant, Susie Lovely.
Hi, I watch YouTube every night.
Tonight, it's Team Jamestown versus Team Plymouth. Susie, what fabulous prize will our contestants battle for?
Well, I don't know. I can't wait to find out.
Tonight's winners will be treated like royalty at the King George Motel for a week in beautiful downtown London, Indiana. Cash value $1,776.
Oh, yay, I knew it'd be good, just like last time.
Let's meet John and Elizabeth Howland of Team Mayflower. Mr. Howland, tell us, please, why did the Pilgrims come to America?
Religion. We wanted to worship God in our our own way and not be part of the Church of England.
I see. And Mrs. Helen, did you enjoy the boat ride on the Mayflower?
No, sir. Mostly I prayed and threw up.
My cat froze up on the carpet.
Well, good luck to you. Let's meet Team Jamestown. You are the famous John Smith.
That's right.
Freeze. Did we get the signs out?
Yeah.
I did not do it, but I did not do mine. I know.
We know where it is. Okay, good. Thank you.
You're the famous John Smith.
I am. I'm the founder of Jamestown, the first American colony.
And did you come here for religious freedom too?
No, we came here to run businesses and make money.
And you are John Rolfe.
Yes. I had the idea to grow tobacco. Tobacco grew well at Jamestown and gave us something to sell back in England.
And sell it you did. It's great to have you all on the show. Let's begin our game. First question. When did the Mayflower sail to America?
Yesterday.
Ding, 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 1620.
Correct! Nearly 400 years ago. When did the first Jamestown settlers arrive?
1607.
1607 is right! And what was the name of John Rolfe's wife?
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez is correct!
Ding, ding,
Wait, no, that's not right.
ding. You're talking about my wife, Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. I love that movie. I love the song, Colors of the Wind. Paint with all the colors of the wind.
Thank you, Susie! Next question. Why is Justin Bieber such a boo-boo head? Oh, sorry, wrong card. Now, for some true or false questions. The first settlers rented hotel rooms when they arrived in America. True or false?
Ding, ding, ding. False, false. There was nothing here when we arrived. We had to chop down trees and build our own houses.
Correct! True or false? Pilgrim kids went to school and played PS4s.
False. There were no videos, no tablets, no phones, no internet. None of that. In the earliest days, there was no school either. Children had to begin working at age 5. It was a matter of survival.
Age 5, that's pretty young. And that's correct! Next question. In what year were slaves introduced to the colonies?
1619.
1619 is correct! And so began slavery, a terrible chapter in our nation's history. More on that soon. And now, our final question. Whose life was hardest? Jamestown or Plymouth?
Ours!
Okay, that's a trick question. Both Plymouth and Jamestown had a hard time in the beginning. Team Jamestown.
It was terrible. We nearly died of hunger, bad water, and starvation.
And Plymouth.
Our first winter, about half of us died.
And I have an ouchie on my finger. Ouch.
Points for everyone! So, Susie, who has won our match?
Team Plymouth. 304 to 67. I'm going to McDonald's this weekend.
Congratulations, Team Plymouth! You win our fabulous trip to London!
Indiana.
Tune in next time for another exciting game of Settlers Feud! This is still about grace. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Revolutionary Jokes. And here we have John and James to tickle your revolutionary funny bones.
Oh, damn, very popular in 1776. Independence.
I don't know. Do you want me to go through this?
We're doing the jokes?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so let's just skip to a big round of applause.
A big round of applause for our revolutionary joke tellers. Those jokes were truly revolutionary.
Yeah.
of the tableau. Where is Kristen in the tableau?
Also-
Pretty much close to you.
She is.
Okay, so let's just get the two of you down here to tell stories.
Okay.
Basically the center.
Center, just split center.
There.
Split center to tell the story.
Do you have a specific place you want us to enter from?
Enter as close to the drop as possible. Center,
Okay.
up center entrances.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yep. So,
Right, Jamestown was established in 1607. In 1619, the first group of about 50 Africans arrived as slaves. As an institution, slavery was undeveloped at first.
These first slaves were better off than slaves in later years, but still, from 1619 to 1865, America had slavery.
That's 246 years.
246 years of servitude, cruelty, and back-breaking labor.
The
Take
enslaved
your
people
places.
sang songs to express their pain and their humanity. And sometimes the songs contained secret codes telling how to escape.
When slaves were escaping, they used rivers to throw off the bounty hunters and their bloodhounds, and they used the stars at night to help guide them to the north. Here is a song about the river and the starry sky helping you to freedom. Go down to the river where the water don't flow no more. Go down to the river where the water don't flow no more. And when you get to the river, look up and find a door. Go down
step.
to the river, water don't flow no more. Go down to the river, water don't flow no more. And when you get to the river, look up and find a door. Find a door. Go down to the river, don't flow no more. Go down to the river, don't flow no more. Look up and find the door, the door. Go Look up and find the door.
And thunderous applause. And we'll get a little playoff music here. Exit.
We are so glad to be here today to perform for the Bridger School Unicorns. No, not unicorns. Oh, the Bridger School Turtles. No. Oh, the Wildcats, of course. I can see you've got that Wildcat spirit. We'd like to thank Principal Smith and Johnson for inviting us. We'd also like to thank people for their financial support in making this performance happen. A big thanks to Richard Stein, the Starseed Foundation, and the Weiss Foundation. Let's give a big round of applause for them. Now I'd like to introduce the band, David, Bryce, and Dan. And now we have some special guest presenters from another assembly at another grade school right down the block.
There we go. All right. And to the end of that scene, we take you back to 1692.
We take you back to the year 1692, about 70 years after the Pilgrims arrived at Plymouth Rock. For your edification. Okay.
For your edification, the Salem witch trials.
you're a good sport. I'll be nice to you, I promise. Put on the mask. And what's your name?
Mr. Tinkle Bunny.
Am I doing both voices?
Yeah,
Yep, you're doing both
You
voices.
started doing
Yeah, my
voices,
bad,
and
my
I
bad.
was like, what? Okay. What's your name?
Mr. Tinkle Bunny.
Tinkle Bunny.
Yeah, Tinkle Bunny. Tinkle Bunny. Get it?
So, Mr. Tinkle Bunny, have you enjoyed the show so far?
If I say yes, do I get hot Cheetos?
No?
Then forget it! Say, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Got any hot Cheetos?
Hot Cheetos, no!
How about some hot Takis?
No, I don't have any.
Sheesh, I thought you were gonna be nice to me.
I'm trying. So, what have you learned about American history?
You mean I'm supposed to learn something?
Well, yeah. Who was the first American president?
King Kong. King George III.
King George. No, we don't have kings in America. That's the whole point here.
Shows how much you know. Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King wasn't a king. He was a civil rights leader.
I think we can say that he was the king of civil rights. Are you dissing Martin Luther King?
No, not at all. King was his name. Never mind. Last question. How would you like to sing the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner?
Of course. Oh, say, can you
Now watch me whip, whip. Now watch me nay. Watch me whip, whip. Thank you. And a big round of applause for Heaven, Sarah, whoever it is.
Yep. That's it.
It's my line, right?
Yep.
And now we move on to the final act of our show, the events that led to the revolution and the founding of our nation. From 1609 to 1776, about 160 years, the 13 American colonies grew and developed their own cultures. And England pretty much left the colonies alone.
Oh, you guys are grabbing from there.
Okay. You should have come out when Leslie did and you grabbed this chair. That was a change we just made. That was the change we just made. So you come in next to the table, grab the chair, put it in place, and then go back around the outside. Okay, let's do that one more time.
And now we go on to the final events of our show, our final act of our show. The events that led to the American Revolution and the founding of our nation. From 1609 to 1776, about 160 years, the 13 American colonies grew and developed their own cultures, and England pretty much left the colonies alone.
We love the king, but we love him most when he's back in England.
Which is all the time.
France was also here in the Americas, and England and France wanted each other to get out.
I love being the ruler of the American colonies. It's jolly fun. I just wish I could get France out of the Americas. And then make more money and have more land.
And I wish I could get the English out of the Americas. They are taking over. Hey, King of England, get out of the Americas. Now.
Not a chance, King Louis. I want you to get out of the Americas.
Never. You get out.
No, you get out. You've got France. What more do you want?
Get out. Or we'll fight you and get the Indians on our side. They hate the British.
You do that, France. We're just the win.
And so began the French and Indian War that lasted from 1754 to 1763.
Hey, Indian! Don't fight with the French! You hate the British, right?
I'm now winning.
Congratulations, Your Majesty, but now you have to pay for the war. And you don't have enough money.
Not enough money. What shall I do?
I suggest you tax the colonies, Your Majesty.
Tax the colonies. Tax them on what, do you suppose?
Anything, Your
Your Majesty. You are the king, after all.
You're right, I am the king. I will tax the colonies like they've never been taxed before. Send out the tax collectors!
Send out the tax collectors!
Send out the tax collectors!
By proclamation of His Royal Majesty, King George III, by the grace of God, King of Great Britain, the colonies will now pay taxes on sugar. The Sugar Act, 1764.
What? They can't do that, can they?
We'll start smuggling sugar in.
Let's just stop buying anything from England.
A boycott.
Good idea.
By proclamation of His Royal Majesty, King George III, all banks are now closed except the Bank of England, the Currency Act 1764.
The banks are closed? We can't use our own money?
That's crazy.
By proclamation of King George III, the colonies will now will no longer buy paper.
The colonies may only use paper made in England.
The colonies may only use paper made in England. The Stamp Act, 1765.
It's ridiculous. Crazy.
Yes.
Silence! By proclamation of the king, the colonies will feed and house British soldiers whenever necessary. The Quartering Act, 1765.
What are British soldiers even doing here? The French and Indian War is done.
They're just here to harass us.
Yeah, soldier, go home. We're not going to pay for you to stay here. We don't even want you here. Hey, you, redcoat. Go home.
We don't want you here.
Don't poke the king, he'll bite.
Threatening us? Go home.
I'm warning you, stand down.
Hey, redcoat, go home.
Get out of here.
Beat it.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
5 colonies shot dead in Boston last week by British soldiers.
British troops fire into crowd in Boston.
5 people killed.
A massacre in Boston. How tragic.
5 people killed and they're calling it the Boston Massacre. Oh, please! Fake news! The incident is more like it. I'll show them.
By proclamation of the king, the colonies will now pay.
The colonies will buy tea only.
The colonies will buy tea only from the British East India Company. The selling of American tea is now illegal. The Tea Act, 1773.
Well, that's just great. Now we can't sell tea.
And there are 3 ships in the Boston Harbor right now filled with tea owned by the British East India Company.
So our only choice is to sell their tea and let our tea rot in the warehouse.
Not a chance. Tonight, we'll sneak onto the boats and dump all that tea in the harbor. We shall have a tea party.
Okay, Kevin,
I'm sorry. No.
just to be, so we get this